Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Wanted to thank you for stopping by the Jury by BDK YouTube channel. I know you didn't come here for a sermon. So here's the video, and we'll talk soon.
Well, hey family, I need to work on some bracelets. So the bracelets I'm going to work on, of course, I'm going to be using the 20 millimeter hand painted beads, and these are pink with gold. So we're going to go ahead and use these, and this should be a very elegant looking bracelet just because of the way that the beads look. And somebody was saying that they couldn't see everything that I was doing with my hands. That's only because the way that I set everything up in the studio when I set it up, and I wasn't thinking about angle of camera when I did it, unfortunately. So I have to reposition things up in here, and you really got to be in a mood to start moving things around. And at some point, I will get it to where it needs to be. But that's why, if you notice, I will always show you in the camera like what I'm doing and what it looks like. And I try to keep my fingers out of the way as much as I possibly can. But most of what I'm doing is like I'm hoping people are catching the concept. So it's just basically, beading and or stringing or whatever it is that I'm doing at the moment. So I do know that, and I am working on. I don't want to just reposition things, and then for me in the background it's awkward. Awkward. So my thought is to reposition every move. I got tables and just all kind of stuff up in here, and I have to figure out how I want to do it and where I want to move stuff at, and just a bunch of stuff. And in front of me is a wall, and the wall here I have along this wall all kind of supplies, like just some of everything. So the recording device won't fit over here, so it could be over because there's no room for it to be there. But I'll get it figured out at some point. But hopefully you're not missing the point of what it is that I'm doing, like when I'm making things. So with this one, just gonna go ahead and make this pretty bracelet. And I like it already the way that looks. Mixing in some pink glass beads. And these glass beads are 8 millimeter. And I messed around and lost my glasses, the main glasses that I wear, like when I'm my reading glasses and working glasses. And I can't find them glasses nowhere. So I've been using a backup pair of glasses. And when I tell you it's a struggle to try to be seeing with these little raggedy glasses, I'm like, Lord. And then my niece called me this morning and told me that the glasses, I left my glasses in the car. I'm like, well, man, that's good to know. She said, well, I just seen your glasses in the car yesterday. Well, can you please bring them to me, ma'am? And I thought that's where they were, but she said, no, I didn't see them. So she must have cleaned my car out. So all I'm doing is beading. And then I'm beading so I can get a beautiful bracelet like this. And I went ahead and put 18 gauge wire spacer. There's a video on here on how to make those. So we got the wire spacer. And then we're just going to go ahead and finish beading. And bracelets are real easy. We all know. Not a whole lot to them at all. Just figure out which beads you want to use, the length you want it to be to fit whatever wrist, and you are off to the capital. So this is very elegant. I am going to put a charm on here too. So I like this. That's pretty. And then we're just going to go ahead and tie it down. I am using 1.5 millimeter cord, and I like to just go ahead and tie knots. I know people use like surgical knots. They do all type of way to tie it down, and that's good stuff. But for me, I like to just knot it as much as I can knot it, and it's like, what's the use in wasting all that wire? I mean, not wire, but stretch cord, and you have to cut enough stretch cord so like when you tie it, you can pull enough of this so it does tie snugly. If you cut a short piece, it's really hard to pull it because it slips through your hands. So I like to tie a bunch of knots because for me, I like to pull that big knot into that big hole. And when it's a big knot fitting snugly in a big hole, that lessens the chance of the bracelet coming loose as well. So that's why I always do a bunch of knots like this. I remember when I did the first video doing this, somebody was like, well, that's not how you supposed to do that. And why would you, ma'am, slow down, slow down. Just because that's the way you do it does not mean that's the way I'm going to do it. My whole thing is security. So if you see how that slid in there and it's nice and snug in there, so that lessens the chance of that knot coming out. This is really pretty. Look. And my wrist is a 7 inch, so this fits my wrist perfectly. So this will be a 7 inch bracelet. And then most of the bracelets I make are for 7, 7.5, 8.5. 8.5, I would add one more bead, and it would be you could see it would be a lot bigger, like for full size wrist. This is really pretty. I'm loving the beads, right? And it looks very elegant. And I'm gonna put a charm on here. And where are the jump rings? Take it off this one. I got a bag of jump rings up here somewhere. I just don't know where they are. And because I cleaned up a little bit of the table, only because stuff was starting to merge together. So I'm going to use this custom charm. And this is a bead that I turned into a charm. So we are going to use this one. And I'm thinking this will match really well. And then that's the charm on there. Pretty. Oh yeah, that's really pretty. Just very elegant. And then if your nails are done, you can actually match it with some gold bangles or maybe some other type of bracelets. But I would mix with like probably gold, like gold chain, gold bangles, just some smaller, thinner bracelets to mix with it, so that this piece could be the highlight. This would, be basically still in the show, but then it's surrounded by a bunch of gold bangles or chain bracelets. Really pretty. I like this. I love these beads. I got some white beads like this. I am going to make a bracelet using those white beads like this because I like this. Very elegant, really pretty. You guys let me know what you think. Darlene Knife for Jerk BDK. Guess what? Look out.